All right. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to week 2 for Biz 240, word processing. So what I'm going to be doing here is kind of what I call a speed round. Nobody needs to sit here and listen to a video of me for like 20 or 30 minutes or even 10 minutes. So what I like to do is try and keep these videos 5 to 7 minutes, giving you all the tips and tricks that I can think of for this week's assignments. This is a relatively new class, meaning that they've completely changed the format of it. It's a no-cost class. There's no textbook. What that means is that we're going to send you to different locations to find the information for each assignment and for each module. So if we go to the module for week 2, it tells you to go to Learning Express, go look at all these items, and look at these items. But in choosing to make a zero cost course, what that means is that you can choose to go to this information and find the information that you need. Or if you think you're a master, or if you think that you are like Google Ninja, that you can go to Google and find anything, then go for it. Start the assignment, just start Googling the information that you want. However you want to gather the information and what is ever going to make it easier for you, that's how I want you to do it. So you can either follow the information that's in our introductions to each module, or you can just dive right into the assignment and just go for it. So I've had to do the same thing while I've been using Word for decades. The format of the class changed. So I need to do all the assignments at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but do the assignments while you're doing the assignments, basically. So I've had to do the assignments as well. So I'm going through the same things with you. I just have a little bit more knowledge to back me up, but I went through these assignments and I'm going to go through the future assignments as if I am a student learning it for the first time. And so I chose not to use this information. That is just me because I'm a Google Ninja. And I just started Googling different things. Like I would Google what is dot leader tabs? What's a sans serif type font? I knew these things, but I wanted to see what it was like when I Google searched them. I was able to find the information I needed in about 5 minutes. This particular video was 2 minutes long, gave me all the information that I needed. About 30 seconds of it actually gave me the information I needed. So with that said, we're going to dive right into this week's speed round. And I'm going to show you how to do the 2 assignments that we have for this week. One is a cover letter. The other is showing us how to use dot leader tabs. So you can see this is not an image. This is the actual Word document I created on my own. Doesn't match exactly to the assignment. And the reason for that is I wanted to show you that I am doing a little bit different than the assignment so that it's exactly my work. So you can see that this is the assignment for the dot leader tabs. And that's what I've created. Just slightly different, and that's okay. If yours turns out to be slightly different, that's perfectly fine. As long as you are covering the skills that we want you to cover, that's what I'm looking for. So when I'm grading a paper, if I see that, oh, this space here is a little bit bigger, or this space here isn't just right, that's okay. As long as you are getting the concept of what a dot leader tab is and how it works, I'm perfectly fine with that. The same with the cover letter. I'm just looking for the general skills and functions. So here we go. We're going to go with the speed round. This week's assignments are the cover letter. That's the first one that's going to be due. So I'm going to jump right into that one. So the instructions are just to recreate this cover letter exactly as shown. And it looks like a lot of information. It's actually just mostly typing. So fortunately, I type very fast and it goes really quick for me. One thing I want to point out, so this video may be a little bit longer than normal because we're kind of digging into how Canvas works and how our grading works. I want to point out when you're looking at an assignment, it'll have all the instructions and the instructions will continue here. But you have to remember that there's what's called a grading rubric. And this is what I go off of when I am grading the paper. So the university has created this rubric that says, here are the points that are available for this assignment, and here's what we're looking for. Did they apply the single spacing style? Did you do these functions? Did you type the letter as shown? Did you insert the date? Did you insert the initials? And it gives me a point value that I need to assign to it. So I have flexibility to assign some points or even give extra points if you've gone above and beyond. But remember to look at the instructions and then to also look at the rubric. This is what I'm grading off of. So sometimes there's instructions up here that aren't in the rubric. So that's a little bit of a fudge factor that you can, oh, if I don't do that exactly right, I'm not going to get deducted points for. So just remember that, the instructions, then scroll down and look at the rubric. All right, so we're going to dive in here. Speed round. I keep telling you that we're going to do a speed round, but you know, I just keep digressing into different subjects. So it wants you to create this document. And what I'm going to do is do something fancy here. I'm going to put Word side by side. So you should be able to see that this is the instructions. This is the document. And here's a Word document that I've created. You think, oh, I'm cheating. I'm creating the document that already exists. So what I'm going to do is create a new document. And I'm going to just start going through these really, really quick. This should only take me a couple minutes if I'm doing it just right. So the assignment calls to use the no space, single spacing style. So in Word, look, there's right here in the styles pane, the no space, done. Check, that one's done. I'm in the no spacing style. It also wants Times New Roman. Put that in there, and it wants font size 12. Do that. And then put the sender's address at the top, press 3 times. So I'm going to go through this in really, really fast style. Believe it or not, I am actually typing. We're doing speed round here. 1, 2, 3. And there's a couple, let me pause here. There's a couple different ways you can do the date. You can either just start typing the date, which you don't have to type that date, just type the current date. So look, if I start typing September, I can do that. Hey, look, if I press space again, it puts today's date. That's one way of doing it. You can also go to insert, and I can do date and time. And I can say, hey, look, there's the current date. However you want to do it, it's fine by me, as long as it looks the way we want it to. All right, so I'm going to squish this over here again, and then 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do Mr. Benjamin Harris. He's the Human Resources Director. There's no stress on me at all while I'm typing here, while I'm talking. I used to work at an answering service when I was in community college many, many years ago, and I had to learn how to type and talk at the same time. So sometimes that skill eludes me, sometimes it doesn't. All right, cool. Got that part down. You notice I put the 3 spaces in between each one. Now I'm down to this next part. I don't want to have to type this all out, so I've already done it. Oh, cheater, speed round. So now I'm done with that final sentence. Put a space in there. Put the sincerely. Put the 3 spaces in there. Jerome Giles. And then I'm going to put enclosure. And then this is where we're asking for you to put your initials. Boom, look at that. I already did that cover sheet. I cheated a little bit because I had this pre-loaded in my clipboard. But you notice I did the single space, Times New Roman 12, did the sender's address, enter 3 times, put all that information, type the letter, space after enclosure, and put your initials at the bottom. Boom. That assignment is now done. All right. I'm now going to go create a new document. And in case you're wondering what I just did is I hit the Control key and N. That creates a new document. Hey, I'm giving you little tips and tricks here. Also F12 will save a document. Pretty cool. All right. So I have a blank document here that I just made disappear. So I'm going to expand this. All right. We're going to go on to the next assignment, the dot leader tabs. This one has a little bit more to it. This one you may have to do a little bit more searching. The cover letter, pretty easy. You're just typing stuff, making sure that the spaces are in there, putting the current date in, and you're off to the races. Dot leader tabs, we're going to be doing some colors. We're going to be doing some section stuff. So just be aware that you can do this. It's not that hard. This was actually a very handy YouTube video I found. It's only 2 minutes long on how to do dot leader tabs. It was really cool. Helped refresh my memory there. So remember, you have the instructions and then you have the rubric. This is what I'm looking for when I'm grading. These are the instructions on how to get there. Okay. So it wants you to type the title and subtitle using a specific font. So what I'm going to do is do speed round here. So you can see that I already have a document that was done. Hey, it looks just like it. Great. All right. Well, I'm going to create a new document. Maybe I'm in the right window. Okay. All right. So what I usually do is I just start typing. That's the easiest way I've found to just get through some of these things sometimes. So I'm going to expand this just ever so slightly so I can see a little bit more of this window. Can't quite see all of it. All right. So I'm going to come here. Cover letter basics, section 3, writing, effective cover letters. This one I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but this is speed round. So I'm going to highlight all of that information. We want it centered. Hey, look at that. I centered it. That's bonus points for me. We're going to make a highlight here, or basically not a highlight. We're doing shading. So you can click this little paint bucket next to the pink bucket, choose a color. I'm going to choose a dark one, and I'm going to change the font color since it's already selected. So I come up here, choose the font color, and I'm going to make this bold because I'm cool like that. This assignment asked for a sans serif font, or you can use Arial. You can use whatever you want. Get creative. Why don't you? So I'm going to use Arial for all of this. Bam, there we go, got Arial. I'm going to create a little space there, a little space there, and I've got the gist of this one, but I do want to make sure, highlight all the information, get the borders and shading. So this little button next to the little border guy. Wants a double border, so we're going to go to borders and shading, choose double. Hey, look, I got a double border, but it did something weird. So we'll figure that one out in just a minute. In fact, I'm going to take out the paragraph guys here. There we go. See, even instructors sometimes mess up, and that's okay. So I'm going to put my spaces there. I am going to pause for just a second. All right, so I'm back. What I did, while I was paused there for a second, I just made the font size a little bit bigger, broke out to the next section. All right, so the assignment now calls for us to do the dot leaders, okay? Here is my little secret for you guys for the dot leaders. What you want to do is, now we're down here. Click this little guy right next to the paragraph. It's a little breakout box for the paragraph section. We're going to go down here to where it says tabs. And I'm going to create 3 things. And the reason why I'm going to create 3 things, and I'll point it out here in the assignment, if you look at the way this looks, this first line here where it says who uses cover letters is ever so slightly indented. So it's not at the edge. So this is our edge. That's the indent. And then this one is also indented. But then we have the tab, the dot leader tab over here. So basically what has happened is that's a tab, that's a tab, that's a tab. So we're going to account for 3 different tabs. The nice thing about Word is there's a million different ways of doing the same thing. I'm going to show you my way of doing it. You may have a different way of doing it. If it looks like this in the end, We'll consider it a success as long as you use dot leader tabs. And I'll be able to check that when you submit the assignment. So don't cheat and just put a whole bunch of dots and then the period, because these won't line up exactly when you do that. So just letting you know, there are multiple ways of being able to do it. So I'm back in my Word document here. Remember I said I'm going to create 3 tab stops. One's going to be a 1/4 inch. And I want that to be left aligned. And I don't want any leader on it. Okay, so I'm going to set that one. Then I know I want one at 3/4 of an inch, left aligned, no leader. Now, this is where the assignment comes in. We want a 6-inch tab stop. We want a right alignment, and we want dots as the leader. Okay, so I set those 3 tab stops. That means if I hit tab once, it's going to go here, tab twice, here, tab the 3rd time, here. You notice that these values down here changed each time. All right, so now I'm back in my document. I'm going to go back to speed round here in just a second. All right, so I'm going to put a tab, and I'm going to put who uses cover letters. All right, cool, right? Hit tab again. Boom, page 1. There we go. I'm going to do tab, tips for writing an effective cover letter. Hit tab, put my next page. I'm going to hit tab again to bring me indent a little bit, but then you notice that I'm on this 3rd line here. It's indented a little bit more. So I'm going to hit tab one more time, and it hits that 2nd tab stop that we have. So I'm going to say, know your audience. Hit tab again, and then continue on. So I'm going to say that's where I'm going to stop, because I've shown you the basics of what we're looking for. You notice it has the page numbers here and everything else that we need. Just keep doing with the tab, enter the information, tab, and you'll be off to the races. So like if I want to do this next line, I know I'm going to be 2 tabs in, and I'm going to type my information, hit tab, put my page number. Okay. So when you have it all done, highlight all of this information in this table of contents. That's when you're going to do this. You're going to shade, and we would just want it an ever slightly lighter blue. And they're going to go to borders and shading, because you notice there isn't a double border here. So go to borders and shading, hit this double border, and there you go. Hey, look, it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. So this video is a little bit longer than normal, but please, you don't have to watch these videos, but I'm putting them on here in case you want to see how to go through this specific assignment. I'm also going to post some of the videos that I found and just information. So like here's sans serif typefaces to help you select some sans serif typefaces. Again, I am available if you guys need anything. You guys are doing great work. Thank you for all of your introductions. I look forward to working with you throughout this semester. All right, you guys take care.